Welcome to Royal Secrets. In a stunning move that has left royal watchers speechless and the Danish public divided, King Frederik X of Denmark has made a decision that no one, absolutely no one, saw coming. The subjects, two young men who were once at the heart of Danish royal life, Count Nikolai and Count Felix. Once princes of the realm, grandsons of the formidable Queen Margrethe II, and sons of the ever-controversial Prince Joachim, their royal identities are now hanging in the balance. What did King Frederik do? Why now? And what does it mean for the future of the Danish monarchy? Until recently, the Danish monarchy projected an image of stability. Queen Margrethe II, who reigned with dignity for over 5 decades, was known for her artistic flair, her strong-willed presence, and her love of traditions. Her two sons, Crown Prince Frederik and Prince Joachim, represented two sides of the same coin, one destined for the throne, the other charting a life in the shadows of destiny. Prince Joachim's children, Nikolai, Felix, Henrik, and Athena, were born into royal privilege. They attended state functions, wore miniature sashes, and stood on balconies beside their grandmother during national events. For years, Prince Nikolai, especially, was groomed as a modern royal, appearing in international fashion campaigns, balancing modeling with studies, and earning admiration from young Danes who saw in him a refreshing face of royalty. But beneath the glittering public facade, a storm was brewing. On New Year's Eve 2023, Queen Margrethe delivered a speech that would change Danish history. She announced her abdication, a shock in a monarchy known for lifelong reigns. On January 14, 2024, Frederik ascended the throne as King Frederik X, with his Australian-born wife Mary becoming Queen of Denmark. Frederik's succession ushered in a new era, younger, modern, reform-minded. But with modernization came decisions that would rattle the very foundations of the royal house, especially when it came to family. Before stepping down, Queen Margrethe made a deeply controversial move in 2022. She stripped Prince Joachim's 4 children of their princely titles, redesignating them as counts and countesses of Montpezat. It was said to be for their own good, to allow them to live normal lives outside of royal obligations. But the fallout was brutal. Prince Joachim, deeply hurt, publicly criticized the decision, stating that his children felt marginalized and confused. Count Nikolai confessed he was shocked and saddened. The Danish public, too, was divided. While some praised the Queen's modernization effort, others saw it as cruel. The titles were changed, but the wounds, still very raw. Many assumed that Frederik, as the more reserved and empathetic brother, would soothe the tensions after ascending the throne. There was hope that the title decision could be revisited or at least softened. But that hope was shattered when a royal announcement came from Amalienborg Palace in June 2025. In a bold and unexpected decree, King Frederik confirmed that there would be no reversal of Queen Margrethe's title decision, and went a step further. He officially stated that the titles of Prince and Princess would no longer be considered for Count Nikolai and Count Felix in any future royal reform, effectively slamming the door shut on any potential return to royal status. In a carefully worded statement, the royal house declared, His Majesty King Frederik X reaffirms the decision regarding the titles of His Royal Highness Prince Joachim's children. The previous changes made to better reflect their non-working royal roles are to be regarded as final and irreversible. The Danish monarchy, under this new reign, seeks clarity, modern representation, and streamlined succession. These words hit hard. Not only did Frederik close the door on restoring their prince titles, but he used the term irreversible, a legal and emotional line in the sand. Prince Joachim and his wife Princess Marie, who have been living in Paris, were reportedly blindsided by the announcement. A source close to the family claimed they were not consulted. They believed that with the Queen's abdication, there might be space to revisit the issue. Instead, the door has been slammed in their faces. Marie was said to be particularly upset, having hoped that her children and stepchildren would be treated with more flexibility under King Frederik's reign. Joachim, once again, was left in the role he knows all too well, the sidelined prince. Count Nikolai, now 25, broke his usual royal silence in a rare interview days after the announcement. Speaking to Danish media, he said, I respect my uncle's role as king. But this decision is painful. I've never seen my title as just a label, it's part of who I am. My heritage. To see it cut off so finally it hurts. The young count was candid, yet composed, a reflection of the grace instilled by royal upbringing, and the frustration born from being caught in a centuries-old institution trying to fit into the modern world. Many royal insiders believe King Frederik is sending a message early in his reign: he will not tolerate ambiguity in the monarchy. His decision to cut off any future reconsideration is, in many ways, strategic. By limiting the number of royals with titles, he reduces public spending on non-working royals, simplifies the line of succession, avoids the working versus non-working royal confusion, prepares the monarchy to better align with modern European values, similar to Sweden and the UK. But the cost, it's a deeply personal one: alienating a brother, hurting nephews, and potentially fueling public debate over the monarchy's role in 21st century Denmark. Some palace insiders whisper that Queen Mary, known for her firm stance on modernization and discipline, supported the final decision. Observers noted that during recent events, Queen Mary remained poised and unwavering as questions about family tensions circled. While she has not spoken publicly about the issue, one courtier suggested, Mary has always believed in a leaner, more focused royal family. She's committed to the crown, and that means making tough decisions, even at a personal cost. Could Queen Mary be the hidden architect behind this dramatic royal restructuring? While Count Nikolai has often been in the public eye, walking international runways and giving occasional interviews, his younger brother, Count Felix, has typically maintained a lower profile. But even the usually quiet Felix couldn't hide his feelings in the aftermath of King Frederik's bombshell announcement. In a short but heartfelt statement to a Danish lifestyle magazine, Felix shared, "I love my family, and I understand that change is sometimes necessary. But this change wasn't ours to choose. We weren't even given the chance to speak." His words cut deep, reflecting the inner struggle of a young man raised as a prince, only to be told later that the world he thought he belonged to was now closed to him forever. Felix, 22, has been pursuing a private military and business education, focusing on life outside the royal bubble. But he remains a symbol for many Danes of the human cost behind institutional decisions. Denmark's citizens have long had a special relationship with their royal family. They're proud of the monarchy's deep roots and fond of their royal figures, especially the younger generation. But this decision by King Frederik has sparked intense debate across social media, television panels, and newspaper op-eds. It's about time the monarchy got serious. We don't need princes who aren't working royals. Frederik is finally leading with clarity. Fewer royals, fewer problems. Let them live private lives. It's a gift, not a punishment. Why strip children of their birthrights? They didn't ask to be born into royalty, why should they pay the price? This feels like a personal feud disguised as reform. The hashtag let Nikolai be prince even trended in Denmark for 2 consecutive days, highlighting just how emotionally invested the public has become. While King Frederik and Prince Joachim have long projected an image of respectful distance, insiders reveal that tensions have only worsened behind palace doors. Sources close to the royal family confirm that Joachim and Frederik have not held a private one-on-one meeting in months. One palace insider shared, "The brothers were never very close growing up. But things have gone downhill fast since the title decision. This isn't just a political divide, it's personal." It's even been rumored that Queen Margrethe herself tried to act as a mediator before and after her abdication, to no avail. The royal family dinners, once intimate and ceremonial, are now described as tense and carefully choreographed. It's not just Denmark that's paying attention. European monarchies, from Sweden to Spain, are watching how King Frederik navigates his early reign. Why? Because every monarchy today is under pressure to modernize, justify its existence, and limit its taxpayer-funded roles. King Frederik's bold stance may set a precedent. In Sweden, King Carl XVI Gustaf made similar moves in 2019, removing royal titles from 5 of his grandchildren. Queen Margrethe's 2022 decision followed suit. Now, Frederik has doubled down on the trend. One British royal historian remarked, "Frederik's actions reflect a monarchy moving with the times. The royals of today cannot afford to carry a full deck of titles anymore, it's about function, not form." Can Count Nikolai or Count Felix challenge this decision? Legally, probably not. Royal titles in Denmark are granted by the reigning monarch. They are not hereditary rights in the same way noble titles are across the UK or Spain. The monarchy, under Danish constitutional law, holds full control over who carries the style of prince or princess. In other words, what the king says, goes. And with Frederik stating the decision is irreversible, the matter may be closed indefinitely. But royal legal experts do point out that future monarchs, such as Crown Prince Christian, could choose to revisit it, even if Frederik doesn't. Crown Prince Christian, now 19, finds himself in a deeply awkward position. He is next in line to the throne and represents the future of the monarchy. But he's also a cousin to Nikolai and Felix, with whom he shares childhood memories, family holidays, and deep bonds. So far, Christian has remained silent on the matter. But observers note that his recent solo public appearances have a more serious, perhaps even somber, tone. Could the young heir be wrestling with the same questions the Danish public is asking? What kind of monarch does he want to be, and what kind of family will he one day lead? Behind the gilded halls of Amalienborg Palace, not all is well. Sources within the royal household speak of an emotional atmosphere. Staff members who've known Prince Joachim's children since birth are said to be heartbroken. One royal aide shared anonymously. They were raised here. They played in the gardens. To see them shut out like this, it's not just politics. It's pain. Royal courtiers, many of whom have served for decades, now find themselves walking on eggshells, unsure of how to speak about the counts and countess in front of King Frederik or Queen Mary. The decision may be final, but its emotional aftermath is just beginning. For years, Danes grew used to seeing Nikolai and Felix standing beside their cousins on the palace balcony during national celebrations. But during Frederik's first royal event as king, his coronation week festivities, the absence of Prince Joachim's sons was impossible to ignore. Gone were their elegant suits, their cheeky smiles, their place among the royal children. Photographs circulated showing Crown Prince Christian, Princess Isabella, and the twins Vincent and Josephine alone on the royal platform. The contrast was stark. One royal commentator put it simply: it was a balcony of the future but also one of absence. Public trust is the most valuable currency any royal family holds. While King Frederik's decision may make structural sense, it also carries emotional consequences that could chip away at that trust. If Danes feel their monarchy is less a family and more a corporate brand, cold, selective, and excluding, support could erode. Already, Danish polls show a small dip in approval ratings for the monarchy since the announcement. Not catastrophic, but telling. Royal commentator Birgit Jensen warns, the monarchy survives on love, not logic. And love includes inclusion. If Frederik isn't careful, he could win the battle for structure but lose the war for public affection. With the door to royal reinstatement now closed, what lies ahead for the two counts? Nikolai, the eldest, charismatic and stylish, continues to build a modeling career with Dior and other luxury brands. He's also exploring business ventures and has hinted at launching his own fashion label rooted in Danish heritage. He may no longer be a prince, but in the eyes of many young Danes, he's royalty in spirit. Felix, more reserved, Felix is focused on studies and has an interest in sports management. He's said to be considering a career in private sector diplomacy, leveraging his royal upbringing in international circles. The brothers remain close, united by more than just blood, a shared past, and now, a shared identity forged in the crucible of royal controversy. Thanks for watching.